Hi, I'm Ju-Len.
I'm Derryn.
And today we're going to find out why people who drive Toyota hybrids here in Singapore are smarter than the average driver. And not just in one way, but 5 different ways.
That's right, and to guide us through those 5 ways, we're going to be featuring the Toyota Prius Plus MPV. So before we get into it, let's find out more about this family-friendly hybrid.
Did you hear something?
Huh? Bird, maybe?
So what is a Toyota Prius Plus? Just imagine a 7-seater MPV made by probably the most reputable car maker in the world. It's spacious, practical, comfortable, reliable, and just a pleasure to use overall. There's space for 7 people on board, and even if you aren't carrying 7 people, the Prius Plus has versatile seating arrangements and flat luggage space for plenty of cargo. And how do you take a car like that to the next level? You add Toyota's clever hybrid drive system.
Compared to normal sedans, MPVs are larger, heavier, and less fuel efficient. But the addition of Toyota's hybrid system means the Prius Plus is one of the smartest choices on the road for Singapore drivers today. And we'll find out exactly why right now. So the talk these days is all about sockets, charging, batteries, zero emissions and things like that. But the fact of the matter is Singapore, like the rest of the world, is actually not ready for a switch to fully electric motoring just yet.
And that's where full hybrids like the Toyota Prius Plus come in. Yes, it still runs on petrol, but the Toyota hybrid system can recapture all this energy that would otherwise be wasted. And that makes it far more efficient than a regular gasoline car. And best of all, you never have to worry about where to plug it in or things like range because it's fully self-charging. It just goes.
A full hybrid like the Prius Plus is also the best way to achieve superb fuel efficiency in Singapore right now. Generally speaking, there are a few types of electrified vehicle on the road today. Mild hybrids have a small battery and their electric motors cannot power the car by itself. Only the engine moves the car. They can recuperate smaller amounts of energy and overall they aren't as efficient as full hybrids.
Then there are plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, or PHEVs. Same concept as a full hybrid, but with a larger battery pack to allow for short distances, currently less than 50 kilometers of fully electric range.
And finally, BEVs, or battery electric vehicles. In a nutshell, a huge Tamiya car. While PHEVs and BEVs have the potential to pollute the least, it also depends on many factors. They need charging from an external source, and there are other factors to consider, such as where the energy used to charge them comes from.
But how exactly does Toyota's hybrid system work? Imagine I, Ju-Len, am the quiet, smooth electric motor in the Prius Plus, and Derryn is the louder, stronger internal combustion engine. In a normal car with a combustion engine, the engine burns fuel and moves the car. When the car slows down, the kinetic energy is wasted. Specifically, it's mostly turned into heat by the brakes.
In a hybrid car, Ju-Len, the electric motor, is able to turn the energy from slowing down or braking into electrical energy and store it in the battery. At low speeds or a standstill, the battery powers the car along with the motor. When more power is needed, such as at a higher speed, Derryn helps along. Thanks to its smarts, Toyota's hybrid system always knows the best way to balance its power sources. I think we should address one of the myths about Toyota hybrids that have never quite gone away, even though the technology is very mature and has been on sale for more than 2 decades now.
And that's the idea that the more things you have inside a device, the more complex it is and the more things can go wrong.
Right,
but I don't really think that's correct because, if that were true, then my phone should just stop working right away. There's like 100 different things in here.
Yeah, exactly. And as journalists, we have over the years experienced and heard so many stories about the utter reliability of Toyota hybrids. And we're not just talking about the whole car, but especially the battery, which seems to be a point of concern for many buyers. And actually, it's rated for the lifetime of the car, but in real life, it can actually go much, much farther.
And that's why I think Toyota's put 15 million hybrids
Wow.
on the road. And that's since the first one, the Prius, came out in 1997. So you've got decades of experience, you've got millions of these hybrids on the road, and then you've got the classic Toyota reliability. I think it's fair to say that when it comes to hybrid tech, Toyota really is the trusted brand.
So we're heading back to the Toyota showroom, and this really drives home the point that Singapore is not the perfect place for electric vehicles, but it is the perfect place for hybrids right here, right now.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that, and that's just because not everyone has access to private charging. But you know what really struck me about hybrids the first time I drove one, and it's still relevant today?
What?
Well, it's just how quiet they are.
That's true. We're running on electric power right now because this is a hybrid, and it's zero emissions and really quiet and refined, which brings me to the point that hybrids, especially Toyota hybrids, are very nice to drive in Singapore. So everyone thinks they're all about efficiency, right? But you got your motor, you got your engine, they can combine, their power can combine with some nice little torque right there.
Okay, well, but notice what you didn't notice?
What didn't I notice?
Well, when the engine wakes up, it just joins the party seamlessly. You know? There's no sort of jerk and there's no loud droning.
Right.
The only jerk in this car is behind the wheel right now, and the only droning is coming from me.
That is true, that is true. We bring me to another point. That's if you don't care about this technology at all, you just want the benefits, just hop inside the car and drive. Shift into the drive, because the Toyota hybrid system does all the hard work for you, all the thinking.
But the whole point of this is the fuel efficiency.
Yeah, it is.
You know, we have so much start-stop traffic here in Singapore, and sometimes when I jump from a hybrid car to a regular car, I will start to feel a bit guilty, you know?
Yeah, you do.
I'm thinking I'm wasting all this energy. There's all this energy I could be recovering right now, and it's just not happening.
Yep, but in the Toyota Prius Plus, it's happening now and always happening.
Okay, so here we are back in the showroom, so we can do some serious number crunching.
Okay. But before we start, there's one big number that I really like.
Okay.
So in 2021, thanks to a vehicular emissions scheme rebate, the Prius Plus gets a $15,000 off everything. Rebate.
Wow. Okay, so that's what you get for having really low emissions and being really clean.
Exactly.
But those are upfront savings, and they're giant, of course, but you still have to take into account how much you would save because this car uses so little fuel.
Oh, okay. So
Do you want to know exactly how much?
How much?
I've worked it out. You would save enough to buy you 147 plates of chicken rice. And it's the extra chicken kind of chicken rice, so $5 a plate.
Okay, that's really specific.
It is, it is.
So you gotta walk me through this.
All right, let me show you how I got there, okay? Now,
okay.
so I assume that a comparable car, a rather efficient one, would use 6 liters per 100 kilometers, but the Prius Plus only uses 3.9 liters per 100 kilometers.
Okay.
Now, how much is petrol?
About $2 after a discount.
All right, $2. And the average Singaporean driver covers 17,500 kilometers every year. When you take all that into account, let me just crunch the numbers here.
Right.
Every year, given that kind of fuel cost and mileage and fuel consumption, you would save $735 driving this.
Okay.
All right, and $5 a plate for chicken rice.
Right. So I see how you got your 147 plates of extra chicken rice. Extra chicken.
That's a lot of savings, and those are really the kinds of savings I can get behind. You know, it's the kind that leaves you with a full stomach.
Well, I think anybody can get behind that. All right, Ju-Len, I can hear that you're dying to go up to a hawker center. But before we go, let's wrap up. Why is the Toyota Prius Plus a great choice for smart Singaporean drivers? Number one, it's an electrified car that does not need charging. Number two, it does all the hard work for you. Number three, it's really, really reliable. Number four, it's perfect for Singapore. Number five, it delivers a great ownership experience.
More importantly, I think the Toyota Prius Plus really shows that it's time to rethink the way we look at hybrids. I think the technology is now really for the mainstream and not just for people on the fringe who want to save fuel or save the earth. They're really for smart drivers here in Singapore or anywhere else.
That's right, and it brings us to another point, the fact that Toyota has the widest range of hybrids it's ever had in Singapore in 2021. So not just cars like the Prius Plus here, but also cars like the Toyota Harrier and the Toyota Yaris Cross, as well as more to come. So if you want to experience the benefits of Toyota hybrid technology, come down to the showroom today and try one out for yourself. But in the meantime, for the two of us, it's chicken rice.
Right, let's go.
What did you chicken?